Welcome back. Well, let's go straight up. We're going to talk about the royal family. What the hell? It's about time we talked about something else apart from the extremely worrying situation in the Middle East. Hope you don't mind, but I think we all need a bit of a holiday from that. So let's talk about the royal family with the excellent Kinsey Schofield, our royal guru over there on the West Coast, the host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. Welcome, Kins.
Hi, Kev. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Now, we're hearing over the weekend that everyone is now, or in the royal circle, is now ostracizing princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, the daughters, of course, of Andy and Fergie. This is a change of position on the part of the royal family, because initially the king said it's not their fault. They should be still included in royal events. They should be still welcomed into the bosom of the royal family. But more and more evidence is emerging that Bea and Eugenie were not exactly innocent of their parents' nefarious activities, particularly involving their close financial relationship with the billionaire paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Harry and Meghan in particular were offering their support to Bea and Eugenie. We're hearing that has been removed. They are not backing Bea and Eugenie anymore, nor are William and Catherine, the Prince and Princess of Wales. They're particularly cold towards these two girls, and now we know that the king has let it be known to them they will not be welcome at Ascot this year, where they usually they often join the king in his carriage to go around the track before the actual races begin, and in fact they will not be welcome at royal events going forward. So the worm is turning for the princesses, the pariah princesses.
I mean, I think that these are the consequences of a DOJ dump, where we discovered that you voluntarily went to spend time with a convicted sex offender right after he got out of jail. But what I think is interesting about this story that I saw in the Daily Mail is that they say in November, the York women turned down Prince William's suggestion to allow an ethics check to be carried out about their personal investments. They say that's really when Prince William started to be concerned about their presence. William believed that potentially they might have involuntarily been involved with some of their father and mother's shady business people, and he wanted to protect them by offering them this ethics check to be ahead of any sort of scandal that could come to fruition. And they, according to the Daily Mail, refused that opportunity. And so someone said in the magazine or in the paper that the palace is acutely aware that Andrew and his business friends, they acted as Beatrice and Eugenie's financial advisors, and no one is quite sure what might be that everything's entirely above board. So, yes, the DOJ dump, I think, is the climax, but we understand that William was trying to protect them, or at least trying to have a better understanding of what all could be on the horizon last year when they started to strip Andrew of his titles and things started to really shift.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's really all going on now at Royal City, because we're hearing, you know, this is sort of difficult, but, you know, Andrew is still a human being. And let's face it, he suffered a lot in the last. It's his own fault, but he has suffered one hell of a lot in the last year. We've heard down the line that he's sort of in denial, still obsessing on where he parks his car and whether or not he can ride his horses and have shooting weekends and all that sort of nonsense. Not quite somehow confronting the horrendous nature of his predicament. But we are also now hearing, Andrew Lowney saying this morning, that in fact this whole saga has taken a terrible toll on Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, and that he is now on suicide watch. So far be it from us to shed tears about this guy. It's his own fault. But there may be fears for his mental health now.
From a moral standpoint, we should be concerned about that from a personal empathy, compassion standpoint. We should be concerned about that. From a legal standpoint, Andrew's mental health is irrelevant unless he was in a frazzled mental state when he continuously communicated with Jeffrey Epstein, when he continued to communicate with Jeffrey Epstein after he was convicted of being a sex offender, when he lied about his communication with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, from a legal standpoint, his mental health is only relevant today regarding whether or not he could stand a trial. From a personal standpoint, yes, we should show empathy and compassion. But if we look at this clearly from a consequences standpoint and a justice standpoint, his mental health is irrelevant unless it's regarding his ability to stand trial or his current mental health when he was allegedly forwarding secret information, government information, to someone that had no business receiving it.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, nobody would wish suicidal thoughts on anyone, and if his mental health is collapsing, then that is a genuine source of concern. But let's not ever forget that he brought this on himself. He's only got himself to blame.
And let's not forget Virginia Giuffre, who is no longer with us.
Who took her own life after accusing Andrew of sexually abusing her on 3 different continents. He denied it, gave her £12 million to keep her mouth shut, not go to a civil court in New York. I don't know why he bothered to give her that money, because nobody believes his denial. Nobody believes a word of his denial. So it was money straight down the drain. Let's talk about Harry and Meghan. Now, given what's going on in the Middle East, only this time last week they were pitching up in Jordan. Thank God they got the hell out of there before all hell broke loose this weekend. But them going to Jordan, to this region, to the Middle East, unofficially, pretending to be a royal tour. I mean, what's happening now puts that into sharp focus. The sheer scale of the irresponsibility of this couple who just say, oh, let's pretend to be the king and queen. Let's go to Jordan. No, don't do this anymore. The Foreign Office here, our Foreign Office department, saying that they were not invited to our embassy. They turned up at an embassy party in Jordan. They were not invited to be there in the first place. This is absolutely internationally irresponsible on the part of Harry and Meghan, that they decide they're the king and queen and pitch up in whatever country they fancy. It's got to stop.
Yeah. And Israel's deputy foreign minister hit out at Harry right after some of the comments he made on Channel 4 when he did that very awkward interview where the journalist keeps bringing up Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, and Harry's like looking around frantically looking for the WHO guy to save him. Yeah. But the deputy foreign minister of Israel said that Harry's claims during that Channel 4 interview about humanitarian corridors being shut down were deeply disappointing and amplifying a false narrative. I mean, to your point, this is why titles matter. When Harry speaks on a volatile geopolitical issue like humanitarian corridors in Gaza, he's not perceived as a private citizen. He's not perceived as an American. He's perceived as the Duke of Sussex, a member of the British royal family. That creates diplomatic consequences. These are matters negotiated between governments, not celebrities on humanitarian PR tours. You know, if Israel's deputy foreign minister is publicly correcting him and saying, come look for yourself, that tells you that he has stepped into territory that is well above his pay grade. This is the same guy that wrote a book about his frozen Todger. I don't see his value on, huge issues like this. The British monarchy survives on neutrality. When a titled royal appears to amplify disputed claims in an active war zone, it places Buckingham Palace in an impossible position. This is why working royals don't freelance foreign policy.
Exactly. I mean, the king doesn't say, you know what, I fancy visiting Canada. Hey, Camilla, pack your bag. Let's nip over to Montreal, lovely city. It doesn't go like that. Years of planning goes into these visits. They are very diplomatic. They are at the heart of international relations, Britain's relationship with the rest of the world and other countries. And these two idiots from Montecito, Harry and Meghan, don't seem to understand this. They just go, oh, let's go to Jordan. Let's go to Nigeria. Let's go to Colombia. Yeah, we can pretend we're royals. It's just ludicrous, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous, Kinsey.
They don't vet the people that they associate with. Do you remember in Nigeria when Harry had his picture taken with like not one but two people that were removed from the United States for scams? Like they were kicked out of the United States for scams.
Yeah.
For financial scams.
In Jordan, they were alleged to have sort of mixed with people who belong to Hamas. So yeah. You know, you're right. I mean, they can't carry on doing this. It's got to stop. It was absolutely absurd. But of course, Meghan loves it, doesn't she? So she can pretend she's Princess Diana when she gets there, striking or Catherine.
I was going to say, or Catherine sleeping on the same mattress Catherine sleeps on whenever she visits, insisting to get the same hotel suite that William and
Catherine. I didn't know that bit.
Yes, I wonder if she's demanded the exact same pillow that Catherine sleeps on every night, because we know she's on the same mattress. It's so bizarre. And then let's talk about the security. I mean, you just said it yourself. Had they left out, hours, a day later or so, if their plans would have been to leave then, they would be stuck there. Mr. Rabbit, if I don't get my way, it's because Daddy stepped in and said I shouldn't have the proper security that I deserve because I was born a prince. Going to Colombia, Nigeria, and Jordan. You are going, and Ukraine, you go to these places, you hypocrite, to try to justify this security. But the reality is, again, back to Frozen Todger, you're a reality star at this point. Yep. He just pursues these dangerous venues to try to justify the security he wants. But it's not like people in Jordan or Ukraine or Colombia or Nigeria are begging for Harry and Meghan to live or represent them or be there. Like, he pursues these things to try to justify his wants.
And in Jordan, they turned up. Imagine throwing a party as our ambassador, the British ambassador in Jordan, did. Threw a party for local dignitaries. And Harry and Meghan crashed the party. Imagine throwing a party going, oh my God, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have just gate crashed. That's what they did.
Kris Jenner knows all about it. Kris Jenner knows all about it.
Yeah, and yes, sure. Then they they tried to use their attendance at this party to say, look, our visit was official. It was not. It was not official. It was a disgrace, and they've got to stop doing this. You're so right. I mean, they don't know, Jack, they don't know anything. They could be there now. And if they had gone this week, they'd be stuck there. And imagine the international diplomatic mess that would have caused. Unbelievable. Kinsey, great to talk to you. Sorry it was so brief, but a lot going on. We'll talk again on Thursday. Kinsey Schofield, host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered there.